Hey, we're live. Once again, Todd and Jeremiah from sunny Fort Dodge, Iowa. It's beautiful out today. And Jeremiah and I were talking a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about how much Fort Dodge has changed. Different things that are just completely different that, when we grew up, it was like it was one thing, but now it's a whole new thing. I mean, and being here is just being in a great place. It's changed so much. A great example is who remembers where Target used to be and what it is now? Jeremiah, you know.
I do know.
What is it?
Yeah, to add what you're saying, it's just like so many things have come and go. And, we lose some of the things that we loved, but, bigger and better things come. Times change, technology changes,
Yep.
retail changes, services change. But this is going to be a fun little segment. But yeah, Target, isn't it weird how like it was not a superstore? And I thought it was
Yeah.
crazy weird when they were going to become a superstore and have groceries. So it's like,
Remember
come
they
on,
added
Target.
groceries, and I'm like, I'm not dumb enough to buy groceries at Target. That's stupid. And now guess where I buy my groceries half the time?
Yeah.
If I'm not going to Hy-Vee or Fairway or all those other
You're
places.
at Target picking up your camping supplies, and then all of a sudden you go over and pick up brown sugar, bananas, and a gallon of milk for the kids.
I
It's
need a
like
13-pound dumbbell. I'm going to go over to this. And some chocolate milk because I'm going to start working out. No, it's just funny. I mean, Fort Dodge Ford was Target.
yeah.
It's just weird to think about, and it looks so different. I remember the construction and Walmart, Hobby Lobby, where Hobby Lobby is.
Hy-Vee.
Yep, Hy-Vee. It's same thing. And
And then
I
that's
remember the building
empty
sitting empty. Like
for
they're never
like
going to
20
fill
or
this
30
building.
years.
Yeah.
And then finally Fort Dodge School District bought that and
Oh,
is
the old
using it.
Hy-Vee store. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's sat empty for way too long.
Yeah, it did. And I just drove by the other day and just noticed like, oh wow, that looks really nice. Like they put like the Dodger logo in the windows and stuff, and it's
Isn't
like
that cool?
it looks alive.
It does. And I guess I haven't been in it yet, but I can't wait to go in it and check it out. And we should ask Jesse if we could have broadcast from there the other day.
Yeah, no kidding.
I did talk to him again, and I think we're going to try to get him back on as the Iowa Central president, since that afternoon he announced he's going to be the Iowa Central president. So we'll get two
Iowa
interviews out of
Central,
him.
when I was in high school, Iowa Central was just like a small little one or two buildings that I know of. And now it's like, it's massive.
Yeah.
I mean, they have buildings across the street from the campus. They have
Yep.
as many dorm rooms as state colleges.
And the dorms are nice. What a great asset to Fort Dodge. I don't know if Iowa Central, the cost, the proximity to home for most of these kids. I mean, 2 of the 4 went to Iowa Central. I have 4 kids. 2 of them went to Iowa Central. And one of them's just graduating this soon, in a week. Today, I think, actually. She's going to walk across the stage virtually.
Yeah.
And Jordan went there 8 years ago. And yeah, so great. I told all of them go to Iowa Central.
If you don't know what you want to do or you don't know what you want to be, I think it's ridiculous to not go get your 2 years at Iowa Central. And
What did you want to be when you were 18?
I don't know, an astronaut.
I started a computer science degree at Iowa Central because I'm like, I'm going to go into computer science. And then 6 months later, I found out I was going to be a dad. So world's changed. I joined the Army to feed a son.
I wanted to be in the restaurant business, so
Yeah.
thank goodness that took a turn.
Yeah. Sorry, I shut my phone off. It's buzzing.
Other old things in Fort Dodge. It was great. I walked in here and Myrna and Kim, I go, hurry up, I'm grabbing a water. I need everybody to tell me old businesses of Fort Dodge. And those girls, they just rattled things off. And so now, Todd, they're a generation above us. And
what do we got?
Have you ever heard of Fruit and Grocery?
No. Is that the one by Olson Park?
No, they said it was like right across from Casey's and Yesway. She said they said everybody at St. Edmunds would go there like all the time.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I had no idea.
And Fannels.
Nope.
I know. And then they mentioned Henry's. That's a place I heard of a lot. because that's where Zakir's is, I believe.
Okay. Before it was Juana's. It was Juana's Wonton too.
Juana's was my favorite restaurant. That's where we went for my birthday every year.
Really?
And I would probably eat like 15 plates of rice and chicken legs. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
That sounds awesome.
And they roasted the potatoes. Oh man.
Oh, that sounds so good. I miss
Chicken on a
things like that.
stick, shrimp.
Well, do you know where Zakir's used to be? Before it was where it is now. It was next door to the Top Hat. It was where Mike and Fort and Jeremiah Schlegel have their CPA office by City Hall. It was Zakir's.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, things just move. They change. They grow. I mean, that business has been in Fort Dodge for years and years.
Yeah, so Juana's was like one of my favorite places. And then I remember Sylvia's.
Mm-hmm.
That's like where the Chemnitz car wash is.
Yep.
I remember they had that big seafood thing on there, and my dad wanted to go eat there one night, and I was like, "Ew, yuck, seafood!" And I always just remember that riding around in the 1986 vehicle in the back seat with no car seat when I'm 4 or 5 years old.
When you stop, Mom just puts her arm over.
Yep. Yeah, you're sitting in between your parents, and Dad would slam on the brakes, and your head would hit the steel steering wheel. Remember those?
I remember when we were kids, Nate and I, we lived in Charles City for a couple of years. And actually, I was born there. We moved here when I was 7. But we would put a fort. So we put a bunch of blankets and pillows in the back seat. We'd have it all loaded up. And then we'd tuck the blankets under the headrest and put all that stuff there. And we'd have all these little forts under there. And we'd play and it'd keep us busy for hours. But that was a different time. Somebody just said Henry's is where the bank by Zakir's is at. There you go. Okay. Thanks, Andy. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. There's another one where wasn't Treelors over by there too?
No, Treelors was by Village Inn.
Village Inn. Okay.
Yep, it's where Village Inn took over Treelors. And I remember seeing it, I think, once as a little kid, but I was pretty little when that burnt down. That was tragic. That was a great restaurant, I guess.
You know, being in the restaurant business, you wouldn't believe how many people would talk about Treelors.
Mm-hmm.
And my in-laws, my grandma and grandpa, who is passed now, but they said it when they were 7 years into their marriage. They had 4 kids, and they were struggling. And they decided to do a date night. And every Friday night, they went to Treelors. And it's kind of cute because she said that she thinks, like, she gave Treelors the satisfaction of saying that they saved their marriage.
That's awesome. And then Andy again goes, then it was Bob's Burgers before it closed.
Oh my gosh, I heard that.
Wait, a Bob's Burgers. That's crazy. Now it's a big cartoon, isn't it? Bob's Burgers on a whatever that night swim or whatever.
Picture it. He's got his white thing on with the spatula.
Yep. And they have all the crazy burgers. Actually, Shiny Top kind of takes over Bob's Burgers when they name our pizzas sometimes because they have all those crazy names for their burgers. So we try to, give them cute names. We couldn't think of one this week, but it was the week pizzas. What is it? Peanut butter, soy sauce, Thai chicken, and broccoli on a pizza. It's the craziest thing ever, but we couldn't think of a cool name. So that's kind of what Nate called it. But no, Bob's Burgers is awesome. Fort Dodge was ahead of its time.
Burgers? And then restaurants, I mean, in my time when I was young, the Colonial Inn and the Hickory House.
Oh, I went to Colonial Inn for date night or for every prom. I mean, it was the only nice place you could make reservations.
It was huge.
Oh, it was forever.
Yeah, I mean, that was like the banquet center. Like, if you had an anniversary party, like if you had like any party over like 20 people, you'd go to the Colonial Inn.
Yep.
And then that was the bank shot underneath there, wasn't it?
Yeah, until it flooded too many times and they couldn't put it back in. Yep, bank shot was downstairs. I remember buying my first lobster. I bought it for a date, and I think she was just using me because she thought I could afford it. Bought her a lobster, and I'm like, I've never even had a lobster. Hell, the first time I flew was when I joined the Army. And I'm like, I bought some girl a lobster at prom. I'm like, can I try that?
And then you didn't like it. It was too squishy.
Oh, no. That Colonial Inn. That was funny. That was a great place.
And then we have the Hickory House. That buffet was amazing back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in high school, varsity football, maybe junior year, our coach had the 3-a-days or whatever,
Yep.
where we had to practice for like 8 hours, and we went to Expo Pool. We had fun those 3 days, and I remember every day for lunch for those 3 days we went to Colonial Inn because he wanted to fatten us up.
You eat as much as you can. And Hickory House. You know, your dad had something to do with Hickory House because when we bought the bakery from him, I bought 2 of the buffet tables that he used at the Hickory House, and we did a pizza buffet at Fort Frenzy for a while with him. So,
Okay.
yeah, those got some use. Hickory House to Fort Frenzy. And
Yeah, because my dad bought the Hickory House with the intentions of moving the cellar there, but then decided against it. And then that's when Pat Lighting came in and bought that so he could put
Yeah.
Carpet World there.
Oh, there you go. Carpet World was Hickory House.
Yeah, and now look how nice it looks where it's located.
It's beautiful. And then Jimmy John's and Pancheros. Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned before the show Randall's Grocery.
Oh, yeah. Bob Thode showed me a picture the other day of the old Randall's. I don't know if you guys remember this, but the old Randall's actually sat on the other side of the parking lot closer to what is now Quick Start. And then they built Randall's next to it in the parking lot. And then once it was built, they moved everything over, tore the old building down, and made it into a parking lot, which was just crazy. And it looked just like the old Fairway. You know how it's got the arches on top? It had that same look to it. And I remember going there with Mom all the time. We were Randall shoppers because we lived on the north side. So we always had to go to Randall's to buy groceries. And they had the best donuts. What was his name? Tom, what's his name? God, I can't think of his last name. That the chef, the baker there that still teaches at the college or just got done. But the bear claws were amazing. You know, they were the size of your head, and they were great. Remember those in high school?
So you're just a little bit older than me, Todd. Sorry, I don't.
Sorry.
You know, I was like a little kid.
I'm a grandpa. You're not. I get it.
When Randall's was by Family Video, I grew up on 7th Avenue North, so I rode my bike over there to get my Pepsi.
Yeah.
A can of Pepsi for like 30 cents, you know?
Yeah.
Or the bottle. Oh my gosh. Remember, I don't know why they don't come back with that. It tasted better.
Oh, glass bottle Mountain Dew was the best.
And talk about that. I remember when they stopped making them, Sylvia's was like the only place that sold Pepsi in a glass bottle. Like it turned into like a little grocery store or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. But
all right, list some bars.
Gosh, what's some old ones? Rock and Roll Reunion. You don't remember that?
Dusty's Corral. I don't know if I was ever there, but I heard a billion things about that place.
Mm-hmm. Well, Knights of Columbus, we still hear about that. Jim brings it up every once in a while. Yeah.
I asked, the girls, and they said the Rainforest and the Runway.
Runway, I remember. Yeah, that was out there. It's I think it's the haircut place where the dorms are for the hair college. La James. That was the Runway. I think that was. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I grew up in the days of like billiards and Chevys and Doyles and
those
kind of places.
I left when I was 18 and didn't come back till I was 25, so I missed a lot of those. That 6 years I was in the Army. I missed a lot of those growing up times where I would have been bar hopping as a young kid. And then I started hanging out at Bootleggers when I got back, and it's still there.
Bootleggers is still there.
Yep.
And then when we were young, we had to go to Sears and True Value.
Mm-hmm.
Remember True Value, where La James is?
Yep, I remember. Sold my first candy bar there and got caught.
And one of the biggest factories in our area was always Hormel's.
Oh, swearing. Master Jack's. I remember Master Jack's. That's awesome. Thanks, Josh.
Well, you bought a building that used to be Touch of Class.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was someday I pull the pictures out if you want to see them. Oh, it was gross in there. Well, the ceiling had leaked for so many years, so it already had that reputation for being a little gross. And then you let the ceiling leak for 2 years, and the water and the mildew and all that other crap in there. It was disgusting. But it turned out nice.
Well, the dressing room that they used for a dressing room was like smaller than my kid's closet.
How much time did you spend in there?
I had the building listed.
Oh, sorry.
I know everything about that building because I sold it to you, remember?
I remember that. Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so this is funny. I was trying to think, since we're realtors, right? We have to come up with some old school realty companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had 4 or 5 of them that I had really brainstormed.
Okay.
And right before this, I called Jim Kesterson.
Yep.
And he listed probably 30 of them in like a minute. And I just wrote down some of them.
Okay.
The first one, Dave Jones Realty.
Oh yeah, he's still around.
I see him walking almost every single time I drive anywhere.
I saw him this morning walking. He waved at me on the way by because I always say hi to him when I can. He's the one that told me you can't be a realtor and have a beard. You're gonna need to shave that damn beard off.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Every year, what golf tournament is that? Oh,
The Growth Alliance?
Growth Alliance. Yeah, he drives around and gives everybody cookies.
Yep, he does.
And they were so darn good, I made a mistake in eating one of them. So every time he came by, and for whatever reason, he came by like 18 times that day, I probably had 18 cookies.
Well, Deb Johnson has a tendency of making really good cookies too and giving them out everywhere she goes. So, Fort Dodge Ford, Deb Johnson.
All right, so Sorensen and Moore, Pittman Realty, Joe Brown Realty, Mulholland Realty, McHenry Realty, McGough Realty, Vojack Realty, City Gowery, blah, 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 Realty, Partners Realty, ERA, Town and Country. Jim said he bought like 5 of these.
Really?
And like packaged them. And then the one I hear about the most is because I think it was the first one Jim worked for was Ken Haugen, who is also an attorney.
Yep. Yeah, Ken Haugen was I was really good friends with my parents, him and Janice. We went to the same church, and I remember going to his house. And Jim talks about that sometimes. I think that's where Jim got his start. His first realtor or first broker he worked for.
Yeah,
he must be really old.
Yeah, and I think that's where he got some of his like legal thinking.
Yep.
Just because some of the things he tells us is like just always think like this, blah blah blah. We don't want to give all of our secrets out, but
yeah, be on it. No, I love seeing the changes. I love seeing Fort Dodge grow and get better and better. And we talk about businesses closing and stuff like that, and I know several of them, and it's kind of interesting that, they might close one business, but they always seem to land on their feet. Because if you got that bug that, I'm going to work for myself, I'm going to grow something. If you have that bug and that's what you are, you're going to find a new place to do it. They always seem to land on their feet. And, who told me? Andy Prestis is a good friend of mine. He's kind of down and out right now, but he goes, you know what? I got the equation down. I know how to do this. I did it once. I can do it again. Oh, Nikki Conrad, question. What's your favorite change that has happened in Fort Dodge?
Favorite change? I think over the last 5 years, I would say one of the biggest changes that I see is a lot more young people staying in Fort Dodge. And because of that, I see a lifestyle change. Mm-hmm. I would say Fort Dodge was kind of an old town, old school, old thinking, a lot of stuff. But now like the bike trails going in, and I still get like all the YP emails and whatnot. Like it's nice out now. So they're doing bike night, bike days, like 6 o'clock. So like they're utilizing the bike trails. They're utilizing, I see Fort Dodge getting younger and younger. And I think it is awesome. That's the biggest thing I see.
I have 4 kids in their 20s, and all of them, Katie lives in Harcourt, which is close. The rest of them all live in Fort Dodge, and keeping them close and keeping them here and loving Fort Dodge has been a huge success. But I want to say my favorite change, and this is going to lead into a shout out to the county supervisors because it is Nikki, but the advances in downtown and getting that changed. I mean, you look at where Shiny Top is, and that was kind of a catalyst to get that blocked. And then Steve Daniels did the building across the street, and Dave Mattson did the Dave's Home Furnishings and got that all looking pretty, and that's all really built up. And then they just had a state of Iowa grant with the city to do the 10 and 1100 block where Daniel Pharmacy is down to River Hops Brewing. Those storefronts those are all, if you drive down there, they look amazing. They put new fronts on, they put new glass in. Was talking to Ethan at the Dungeons and Dodgers yesterday, and he said the awning's going on next week. He's so excited to get the new awning on the front of that building. That's and awesome. Then the like county supervisors with the city, I think just last week, started putting the process together for a riverfront project at the very bottom of Central Avenue down there. And that and having the county supervisors buy in to saying, you know what, this is the river is a super important part of Webster County and Fort Dodge, and the camaraderie between the two of them to put that together has been absolutely amazing. So
well, yeah. You talk about like younger thinking and everything. Like when I was young, kayaking wasn't something that was even talked about or thought about. Like you see it on TV, and you might go to National Geographic and
somebody is in a kayak, and that's the only time you saw it.
Now I go through houses, and if they're under 35 years old, there's a kayak in the garage
every time.
So where are they going kayaking?
Yeah, they're going to the river. All those access points. I mean, the county's done a great job with that, and yeah, it's just amazing. No, seeing
great questions, Nikki. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're just over 20 minutes, which is a little long for us because I think we both have such passion for our community and what's changed and what's gotten better. And, you know, we're going to continue to push to make everything better we can. Housing market is strong buyers, not a lot of sellers. Once again, call Todd. You don't have to call Jeremiah. That guy's weird. If you want to list your house.
And then he'll just ask me all the questions. And
yeah, and then I'll send Jeremiah over
through the process.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thanks everyone once again for joining us on Talk Fort Dodge. If you ever want to be on, you want to talk to everybody, kind of get your word out about whatever you're doing, call, text, you can message us on this board, email me, whatever, email Jeremiah. Just want to make Fort Dodge better. We want to get the word to the whole world that Fort Dodge is a great place to live, work, and play. And we're going to do everything we can to keep it that way. So thanks, everyone. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye. Thank you.